live. Putting yourself out there is one of the scariest things you can do. Putting yourself out there is truly scary. But why? Visibility fear in women coaches, and especially in spiritual women coaches, is rarely about a lack of confidence in your work. It's not actually that you don't trust your work. Most of the women who struggle the most with visibility and showing up are the ones who know at a very deep level exactly how much they have to offer. The fear, though, is more specific than like just self-doubt. It's the fear of being fully seen as the authority you actually are in a culture that has historically penalized women, and particularly women who operate outside of conventional frameworks. You get penalized for being too big, too great, too powerful. So for spiritual women, you're choosing to be a coach. This gets really compounded by an additional layer. It's not just putting your expertise on the line, you're also putting your worldview, your values, and your relationship with the unseen. And that is like your most intimate understanding of how life works. And you're putting that out there in the public view. That's a lot of exposure. So the criticism that you fear is not really just about being on a professional level. It's actually personal at the level of your identity and the level of your soul, because your work requires a quality of genuine presence, and transactional work is not going to cut it. Okay, you can't hide behind a product or a credential if you're a spiritual coach or if you are a heart-centered woman. You actually have to show up as yourself, which means that you risk being rejected. And, criticism starts to feel like it's about you and not just about your work. Plus, you're doing all the things to build your work, to build your business, to build your visibility funnel. And that can be really hard. So the summer solstice is a particularly powerful time to examine this, because it is the moment of maximum light, the point in the year when nothing can stay hidden, where everything is illuminated. It's the first day of summer. And so everything is seen exactly as it is. There's something in the energy of this season that both exposes what has been kept in the shadows and offers the fire and momentum needed to do something about it. So this is a powerful time, and I'm here because I want to help you. I want to help you take advantage of it. If there is ever a time to stop managing how much of yourself the world gets to see, it's now, when the light itself is asking you to step forward. All right, my name is Lynn Bell, and I am the founder of Badass Butterfly Alchemy Coaching. And I'm just checking in here, and I want to see who's watching, because I want to look at the channel. I want to look at the comments. Hey, there's my friend Amarie. Hello, Amarie. How are you? Nothing can stay hidden. Everything is illuminated. That's right. If you're watching live, please in the comments type #live. And if you're watching the replay, if you're catching this later, type in hashtag replay. I'm happy to answer questions for you while you're here, or if you want to chime in the comments, please do so. As I said, I'm Lynn Bell. I'm a spiritual business mentor. This is my work. I'm putting it out there. I'm the founder of Badass Butterfly Alchemy Coaching. I guide women through the process of building coaching businesses that are grounded in their unique philosophy, built from their hard-earned wisdom, and designed to produce lavish, sustainable income. So look, I do the spiritual business hour every day, Monday through Friday. I'm here at 2:00 p.m. Pacific, 5:00 p.m. Eastern, and I talk about what it takes to run a spiritual business. Personally, I like to aim for at least a 6-figure spiritual business. That's what I produce for myself, and that's what I help my clients produce for themselves. I love doing this work, and that's why I'm here every day sharing what I know about what we're doing. I have a little quiz for you today, and actually, let me just say before I move forward, I want to say that you can join the Spiritual Business Hub. It's free to join. There's a link in the comments. Team Badass Butterfly is going to put that link in the comments for us. And look, there's a cheat sheet that comes with every single week. So, I'm here 5 days a week. Once a week, we have a theme throughout the whole time. Okay. You get that cheat sheet and you can work on that, and that's going to help you bring your soul into alignment with your business plan. All right. I like working at the level of the soul. I don't focus on money 100%. Money is important. It is. That's why I talked about a 6-figure business. But what's more important is that your soul, your heart, your wisdom, your purpose is coming through. And that's what I'm here to do, to help you. So I have a little quiz for you. This is, are you afraid of being seen quiz? All right. So here's the first question. Do you cringe at the thought of posting your opinions publicly? I know that my friend Amory is not afraid to post her opinions publicly, but I have to admit that I am. I have to bring myself to post my opinions publicly. And I am not implying that everybody should just post their opinions. I'm not saying that you should post your opinions, but we need to look at what holds us back, and at least acknowledging that you have some fear is a part of overcoming that fear so that you are not being driven by that fear. All right, the next question, and you all can put your answers to my questions in the comments. I would love to come back and read about them. If you're live, I'll address them now, but if you are watching the replay, then I will come back and do it. Are you afraid to share your work on your personal Facebook page or in public because you're afraid of what people will think? I know I get a lot of this with my teachers, teachers who are like, Crystalline, I don't want my students seeing this. I don't want my colleagues seeing that I do this kind of spiritual work. I think that's a really genuine fear. So again, there's no judgment around this. And I'm not saying, oh, you should just put everything out there. I'm not saying that at all. But I am saying that you need to be aware of where you're holding back. And sometimes you need to see yourself holding back in one space to understand that you are holding back in another space. So here's another question. Have you ever turned down a speaking gig or another opportunity because you feel like you weren't ready? That's really important. I remember doing that. I've done that a few times. And what's coming up for me right now is I had an opportunity to date a very high-end movie director. And the fear of being seen with someone that was that high level scared the poop out of me. I'm just going to be very honest with you. It was just like, wow, that opportunity. And at the time, he was big, but he wasn't as big as he is now. He's an award-winning director and a really beautiful soul. I ruined that opportunity because I was fear. I was terrified of being seen and having to deal with that responsibility. So I'm the first to admit that I've had issues with this. And have I overcome it? Yes, in many ways I have. But who knows? We'll see what happens if I get some more big opportunities, like that. And doing this business is a big opportunity as well, but I'd be putting myself out there like I am right now. Here's another question for you. Do you find yourself softening or somehow qualifying what you really think before you post it? This is whether it's at work, in your family WhatsApp, or in social media in the public. Here's another question. Do you spend more time perfecting your content than you do actually putting it out into the world? I know, right? I know. And look, Haley's there. Hi, Haley. It's good to see you. Yeah, I get that. And here's going to be another good one. When someone actually compliments you or your work, do you immediately think of all the reasons why they are wrong? Do you disqualify somebody, or do you disqualify the compliments when they come in? Yeah, but, oh no, I see that all the time in people. That is truly something that I have overcome. Although I did catch myself one time. Somebody recently was like, oh, Crystalline, I love this. And I'm like, yeah, but we are just getting started. It's missing all these things. And that was not fair. That was not fair for me to say about this show. It's brand new show. There's no reason I should be like, if somebody compliments this show, I should embrace those compliments and not be like, oh, but I haven't really done all this work. No, I should not do that. But hey, I'm human. And again, this is not a judgmental space. This is a self-awareness opportunity so that we can see what the hidden enemies are. Here's another question for you. Have you ever decided not to show up for something you had already committed to because you suddenly felt too exposed or unprepared? Yes. I created a major self-sabotage. I had an opportunity to do a live speaking gig, and my subconscious mind made me F that whole thing up. I physically could not get there. I lost my keys. That was some subconscious forces working. We are the creators in our world, my friends. We are the creators of our universe and our reality. And that's what I created. So here's the problem. Many spiritual entrepreneurs have work that is ready to be shared, but it stays hidden. And it's not because the work isn't good enough, and it's not because the woman is not smart enough or the coach is not going to be able to deliver. It's because of the subconscious persistent fear of being fully seen. And I want you to understand that this fear is not always obvious. It can show up as delay or as like this thing of, oh, I'm almost ready. It's almost, not quite. And it can show up as, oh, I just want to do a little bit more. Not quite. And I don't want you to think that this is something that I think you should just overcome. I don't think that that's the way to go. But today I'm going to give you 5 ways to overcome it. Some of them you're going to be like, yes, Crystalline. And others you're going to be like, I don't know if I can do that. All right. But let's see. I want you to understand that visibility is not a sign of an insufficient skill or readiness. It is the actual obstacle that stands between a coach or a healer and the clients that they're like, that are out there searching for them. It's a real thing, that fear of visibility. Your work is not the issue. The hesitation is. And this should give you a lot of confidence. Okay, it should give you a lot of confidence because your work is not the issue. It's just something that you're thinking. It is not real. But I know that when I try to tell this to people who are not doing this internal work, they don't know how to grapple with the fear. This is something I work through with my clients all the time. I see that Michelle is here. Hey, Michelle, it's good to see you. Thank you so much for showing up, and thanks for checking in. So let's talk about the solution. The solution for me, okay, and look, my company is not called Badass Butterfly for no reason. There's a reason I chose Badass Butterfly, and it's because I'm badass, and I'm going to choose the badass way always. However, what does it even mean, badass? What do I mean by that? Well, badass to me is not mean or hard or tough, but it is courageous. It's doing it in spite of the fear. And it's letting the chips fall where they may. Right now, I'm doing this live stream. I don't know who's going to watch it. There might be 1 million viewers, or there might be 1 viewer. I'm going to do it anyway. It doesn't matter. Being badass means that you don't care about the outcomes. It means that you do it anyway. Isn't that badass? That feels badass. I can totally feel that badassery like right now. I don't care what the outcome is. All I care is that I'm just going to do it. It's in God's hands. That, my friends, is the Badass Butterfly way. So it means that you move through the fear rather than waiting for it to disappear before you take action. I'm not going to wait for the fear to disappear. One of my mentors said, oh my God, I can't get the quote right. She basically said something to the effect of, you just do things and you don't wait until they're right or the circumstances are right. You just do it anyway and you move on. Don't look back is what she was saying. And that is a very badass approach. But this means understanding that staying unseen is actually costing you something. It's costing you missed inquiries, missed trust, missed impact. And you're going to need to recognize that visibility is a skill that actually gets built through repetition, not a feeling that has to be fully resolved before showing up. And this is the mistake that most coaches make, particularly spiritual coaches, because spiritual coaches, spiritual healers, spiritual entrepreneurs are heart-centered, and there's a tendency to go by what you feel rather than just doing what needs to be done. You go by what you feel. So when you feel the fear, what do? You back down. It's a problem. You're not going to win. You're not going to win if you do that. You're not going to get out there if you do that. If the caterpillar went by its feelings of trepidation, it would stay a caterpillar. And then you know what? It would die, having not reached its potential, which is there. And it's divine inheritance. I don't want that for you, which is why I'm here. So here are your 5 ways to overcome visibility fear as a coach or healer. Number one, just do it. All right. Sometimes the most honest and effective response to visibility fear is just to bypass the analysis entirely and simply put yourself out there. When I started this live stream 12 days ago, this was not something that I prepared a year ahead of time. I prepared in one weekend, and I just wrote down a whole bunch of notes. And every day I'm just showing up with my notes, and I expound on them in the hour beforehand, right? Now, granted, these are all things that I have lived, okay? I have lived this visibility fear, and obviously I've been working on this for myself, but also with my clients. I've been doing this work for the last 15 years, so this is not new for me. But showing up and talking about this like this every day and putting myself out there for everybody to see, I'm accustomed to working with one-on-one people, okay? But just doing the live stream every day and showing up like this is different for me. That's okay. Here's the thing I want you to understand about this. Your preparation, and this is what I've experienced, preparation is never going to feel complete enough when visibility fear is running the show. The moment is never going to feel right enough. At some point, you just have to show up and come as you are before you feel ready. Okay? All right, let's talk about the second thing. This is the thing I love to do, and I just mentioned it. Give yourself a challenge. Define that challenge, right? For example, do 30 live streams in 30 days and don't try to make them perfect. What you're seeing here for this particular live stream, understand that I have been doing this longer than you have most likely. So for me, I have a team already in place, okay? But if you look back, you will also see on my YouTube channel and in my Facebook, well, on Facebook, you won't see it because now Facebook deletes all the videos, right? It deletes them after 30 days. But if you look at my YouTube channel, you will see that there are videos of me in my pajamas in my bedroom because I said I'm just going to go live. All right. There's a video of me in my bed, sick as a dog. I said I was going to go live, so I went live anyway. All right. I just did it. You have to just do it. So giving yourself a challenge, like, okay, I'm going to do 30 live streams, just, sitting, on my way to work or out for a walk with my dog. I had a friend who did that. She's the one who inspired me, though, actually. She would go on her treadmill every day, and she would just make a live stream. It was 3 to 5 minutes, and she would just put it out there, walking on her treadmill, talking about something. She didn't even care. She just did it, and it became a habit, and she did it for months. Lord knows she might still be doing it, okay? By doing this kind of thing, giving yourself a challenge like that, it removes that decision of should I go live Or should I not go live, you know? And if you do it, if you say, well, I'm going to go live twice a week, every week, that for me creates a whole bunch of drama, which is why I do a daily live stream right now. Okay. If you do it daily and you give yourself, hey, I'm going to go live. I'm going to go live with 1 minute wisdom. You can write down 1 minute of wisdom, write it all down, and then pop that into just, I'm going to read this every day for 1 minute, right? And you read out your little paragraph that you've written and you say, bye, y'all. And then that's it. That is super simple. It's super cute and it's super relatable. Okay. So I think that done is better than perfect, and a completed challenge builds more confidence than a flawless performance that never actually happens. Okay. So that's my number 2. Number 3, I want you to actually separate your fear from readiness. So the feeling of fear and the question of whether your work is ready, those are 2 entirely different things, and you need to understand that. Waiting for fear to go away before sharing your work means waiting indefinitely, because the fear often doesn't fully resolve until after you've already shown up. Like right now, I'm in this. Did I have anxiety before I went into this session with you today? Sure, I did. I have anxiety every day. Like, is it going to go right? Is the Facebook going to go right? Is the YouTube going to go right? Am I going to mess up something? Sure. But then you just do it anyway. And then I'm in here and I'm talking. And then I had some friends stop by, and that's really nice. Thank you guys for watching. Again, if you're watching live, just in the comments, type #live. If you're watching the replay and you've made it this far, say, hey, I've made it this far, type in #replay. Now, number 4, I want you to start with the smallest visible action. What does that mean for you? Start with that and put it out there. It's different for everybody. Full visibility doesn't have to be like some dramatic leap. So choosing one small specific way to be seen and doing it consistently is actually going to build that tolerance, and it's going to build trust. And those are the things that big visibility actually requires. You got to get accustomed to, you need to build up your tolerance for being seen and putting yourself out there. Okay. Lastly, I want you to reconnect with who is actually here for you. Understand why you're doing this. You're not being seen just so that you can be seen. If you were doing that, then you would be an influencer and you would just be posting pictures of yourself because you think that your face is helping somebody. Hey, this face is helping somebody. No, that's not really it. You're putting yourself out there because there's somebody who needs help. There's somebody who needs you and what you have learned, your experience, your method, your insights, your intuition, your spiritual guidance, your ability to channel, your ability to write, your ability to speak, the sound of your voice, the quality of your voice. Somebody needs that. Visibility fear very often centers on imagined criticism from people who are not even in your audience. They are not even your ideal client. There are people who get paid to troll. They are not your audience. Who Who cares what their criticisms are? So, shifting your focus to the real client who is actively searching for exactly what you offer reframes visibility as an act of service rather than an act of exposure. All right. Ooh, it is 2:30 exactly. I am ready to wrap up. My name is Lynn Bell. I'm the founder of Badass Butterfly Alchemy Coaching. I work with women and I help you all step into your power, not only as coaches, but as business owners. I teach you how to run your business. I help you build your business out from start to finish. I like the work I do. I love working with people like you. The Spiritual Business Hour is a great way to connect with me and to learn more about how I work. If you will join my community, you'll get more of me and you'll get the weekly cheat sheets. So go ahead and sign up for that. Team Badass Butterfly is going to put that in the comments for you so that you can join. And I'm going to sign off. Thanks so much for watching. Bye for now, friends.